Flip phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
Last week, I made a video about Hunter Deckers and the gambling situation that was happening at Iowa State and Iowa and college football in general. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at it now because there's been more players that have now been charged, not only within Iowa State, but also Iowa, whether it is players that are no longer with the team, that have transferred, players that are currently on the team, and or student managers. Before I move on, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. 4 more Iowa State football players have been charged in the sports betting investigation. Those players being Jarrell Brock, Jake Remsburg, Isaiah Lee, and Deshaun Hanika. Something that all these players have in common outside of playing at Iowa State and being involved in this investigation for betting on games and athletic events involving Iowa State athletics is that at some point in their career, they have all been an impact for the program and were all expected to be big-time contributors for this Iowa State Cyclone team in 2023. Running back Jarrell Brock has been with the program for a while. And in 2022, he was their starting running back, which in 10 games, he rushed the ball a total amount of 99 times for 445 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns on the ground, along with 21 receptions for 113 yards in the air and 1 touchdown of receiving. He was expected to take the biggest jump in his career yet, with another year of eligibility remaining for 2023, and expected to be returning as RB1 and to potentially have the best year we've seen from him yet. However, Brock may not be able to play in 2023 because allegedly he made 1,327 online wagers totaling more than $12,050 under a DraftKings account. He allegedly bet on 3 games that he participated in last season against Iowa, Kansas State, and Texas Tech, along with 13 wagers on Iowa State basketball games. Defensive lineman Isaiah Lee has been a contributor for Iowa State on that interior of that defensive line since 2020, playing with some very good defenses for Cyclone Nation. In his career up to this point, he has 55 total tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. His best season was in 2021, in which he had 21 total tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. These past few seasons, he's been someone that has played in mostly every game that he's appeared in every season and has started in most of those said games. He was expected to be a starter yet again and someone that has proven experience and maturity as a leader of that defense on the interior in 2023. Lee was accused of placing wagers on a FanDuel account registered to his fiancée, including 21 involving 12 Iowa State games in which he played in during 2021 and 2022 collegiate seasons. He even made a moneyline wager versus Texas in 2021 against his own team in Iowa State, a game that Iowa State would win 30-7. Deshaun Hanika. For the most part of his career at Iowa State, he has been a backup tight end that has seen playing time quite sparingly in the early part of his career, being behind some very talented tight ends such as Charlie Kolar and Chase Allen. However, in this past 2022 college football season, he saw his role increase greatly as he would appear in 12 games. He recorded 17 receptions, the most among that tight end group, for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns to the air. For the team of Iowa State, amongst the receivers and the tight ends, he was 3rd in receptions, 3rd in receiving yards, and 2nd in receiving touchdowns. The expectation in 2023 was to be a bigger influence in the pass game, to be that tight end 1, to be that tight end that everyone knows that Iowa State has put out recently in the past few years, maybe like a Chase Allen and a Charlie Kolar. To be up to those levels, to those kinds of players, to be a very key part of that offense. Hanika used his mother's DraftKings account to place 70 wagers on Iowa State basketball games and 288 total mobile/online wagers, totaling more than $1,262. Jake Remsburg, offensive lineman for Iowa State. In 2020, he started in 7 of the 8 games he played in, appeared in all 13 games in 2021, and in 8 games that he played in 2022, he started in 6 of them at right tackle. And going into 2023, he was expected to be one of the more experienced offensive linemen on that team and potentially even be a starter for the entire year. He used his mother's online account to make 273 wagers with 6 NCAA events involved. He told investigators he made the wagers under his mother's name to avoid NCAA penalties and that he was aware of the NCAA rules prohibiting athletes from gambling. The Iowa State football program has definitely been hit very hard by the gambling investigations. 2022 was already a rough year for the Cyclones, as they went 4-8 and were one of the worst teams in the Big 12, going 1-8 in conference play. And now going into 2023, you're going to be losing potentially 5-year starters and definitely 5 players that would have contributed quite a bit for that Cyclone team. However, they're not the only team in Iowa that is affected by this entire situation. The new players or people that have been charged at Iowa affiliated with this entire investigation is current Iowa receiver Jack Johnson, student manager for Iowa football Owen O'Brien, former Iowa players at Oklahoma State Arlen Bruce IV, and at Troy Reggie Bracey. Arlen Bruce was expected to be a big-time receiver and expected to be someone that could potentially break out in 2023 with Oklahoma State, especially after being a 4-star rated player, not only out of high school, but also out of the transfer portal, according to 24/7 Sports. In the 2 seasons he was at Iowa, he appeared in a total of 23 games, in which he recorded 44 receptions for 396 yards and 2 touchdowns to the air, while also being used on the ground with versatility, having 21 total carries for 116 yards and 4 total touchdowns on the ground. He was also used in the punt return game in 2022. On the other hand, Bracey was in more of a reserve role for Iowa the few years he was there. He finished his career with 10 total tackles, half a tackle for loss, and 1 pass deflection. In 2022, he appeared in the most games he ever did in his career, appearing in 10. He most recently transferred to Troy for 2023, where he was expected to be a big-time contributor for that defense and that secondary. However, those plans may be on hold now. Allegedly, Bruce and Bracey worked together. Bruce made 11 wagers on games he played in 2021 and 8 that he played in 2022. He allegedly made 132 online wagers, totaling in more than $4,342. He even bet the under for point totals in 2022 games against Northwestern and Kentucky. Bracey, on the other hand, would make 66 wagers totaling in $715, including bets on games he played in against Michigan and South Dakota State in 2022. The charges that all the athletes I mentioned in today's video are facing is a maximum sentence of up to 2 years in prison and fines ranging from $855 to $8,540. Not only that though, if they are found guilty, they're going to lose the remaining of their college football eligibility. I am no expert of the NCAA rules regarding this matter or what the potential punishment or the investigation process is going to be like. All these players have been suspended from team activities, or those teams they're on have declined to comment and they're not currently participating with the team through fall camp as they prepare for the 2023 college football season. This is a very serious issue, and I do wish the best for everyone that is involved, and hopefully they are not guilty. However, in my opinion, it doesn't look very good for anyone that is involved, as there is proof of all of them going against the NCAA rules with gambling. Well guys, we made it this far in today's video. Drop something down in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this entire issue, and do you think it's going to become even worse for a variety of other teams out in the future of college football? Not only Iowa or Iowa State, but other teams as well, as this thing may grow even more and more in the coming months and days. And before you head out, remember to smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. B. Kelly out.